Hi, this is Doug. This is the second video in the series on BigCommerce data imports using the new process. And I'm sure I'll be doing this several times, and there will be a new process and a new process. God help us. This particular video is going to be about merging spreadsheets. So before you get too far into doing an import process, you're going to be gathering data. You may be gathering data from several sources. You may be gathering data from some source, but you have to go back to them several times before they provided all of the information that you needed. And the likelihood of them managing to provide you all that information you needed in one spreadsheet is unlikely. More than likely, they'll send you 2 or 3 spreadsheets with a different mix of information, data columns in each one, and then you're going to have to merge them all together. So this is going to talk briefly about merging steps if there is one. This is not always going to be the case. You may get it all in one spreadsheet, and isn't that amazing? Good luck to you. So looking at this particular sheet, we've done this example many times, so I'm very familiar with this data, God help me. So in this case, we have the vendor RAB, and over the course of nagging, they give us 2 sets of spreadsheets. And also within the spreadsheets, there's multiple tabs. So the first spreadsheet they gave us most of the information we needed, but not all of it. And of course, the spreadsheet also has different worksheets in it that have different information. And one that's got completely broken information. And so the first thing we want to do is to be able to merge all the data within the spreadsheet, because we can't do anything else really until we have everything all in one place. So to start off, do not alter, at least substantially, the original spreadsheet from the vendor, because you may have to go back and yell at them, and they're going to say, that's not what I gave you, blah, 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 etc., etc. So do the barest minimum of modifications to the original sheet. In this case, we're not really going to alter the data. We're just going to add a tab to it and merge all the data onto that tab so that we can merge the data from this spreadsheet into a second spreadsheet, or the 2 together for a third one. Any which way you put it. So in this particular step here, what we're going to want to do is create a new blank tab, and we're going to rename that to merge. All right, and then we're going to take a look at this data. Not unusual to have filters put in here. This was probably generated by a report generating program off of a corporate database, that type of thing. It likes to put in a bunch of gobbledygook and artifacts, and you should clean that up. First thing to do is we're going to copy this master information, and then we're going to paste it to merge. Do not do a normal paste. Paste the values. That will neutralize all the filters. All right, then we do bold. Then we view and we freeze the panes. Then we go back here and we format and autofill column width. Now we have a readable spreadsheet. All right, now let us take a look at the other tabs that are in this sheet. And we've got, okay, this has just the pricing. Interesting. This has a bunch of broken links. Not particularly helpful. So we do want to merge the pricing in. We want to ignore that one. If you do it in the raw form in Excel, this would be a VLOOKUP. VLOOKUPs I find to be incredibly aggravating, so I don't use them. There's this program that I bought or keep buying regularly called AbleBits that's embedded into Excel that makes things like merging tables and VLOOKUPs and cross-references and all that stuff dirt simple. So that's what I use. Here is the process. Let us go to, all right. So in order to merge data, there has to be a key field. That is a set of information that is both unique, record to record, and is both in the destination sheet and the source sheet. If you don't have a key, you cannot match the data together. All right, so we do have a key. In this case, it's called name. Here we select the entire worksheet, sheet 2. Then we go to our merge sheet, and we go ahead and select that. Okay, from the destination sheet, which is this one called merge, then we start the AbleBits program, and we merge two tables. This does allow you to select and highlight, the range from within it, but it's too easy to screw it up, so that's why I do it beforehand. Then pick the worksheet that you're getting the data from, which is sheet 1. This program can actually pull things from separate spreadsheets together, but I try and keep everything kind of all in one spreadsheet because it's just less confusing. All right, and it's not sheet 1 that I wanted, it's sheet 2. All right, there we are. And we do next. All right, main table has headers. Make sure that that's checked. Where our key field is going to be name, so we match name to name. It's not always the case in separate worksheets that the key information has the same name in the column, so you may have to poke around. In this case, we got lucky, they were consistent. And we do next. Select the columns to update on your main table. We're not doing an update, we're adding to it. Okay, these are the columns that are unique to the sheet 2, and we're going to add all of them into the merge worksheet. The options, these are a variety of options used in different cases. In this particular case, we're not going to use them, but if this process is used later on in other cases, sometimes you want to add the non-matching rows to the end of the table. It's entirely possible that you have two spreadsheets with two different mixes of products. Adding the non-matching rows to the end allows you to see, okay, what was in A that wasn't in B comes in very handy. Adding a status column that is, going to be the other way around. What is in B that wasn't in A, which that is also a thing. Also, setting the background color of update cells in blue sometimes comes in handy. In this particular case, we don't need to do any of that, so we're just going to click on Finish, and bingo, bango, bongo, and we see even in this case, there's three records that didn't match, but that's a fairly minor issue. Okay, and if we look at the end of the merge sheet, we can see here that, lo and behold, it has added those columns from sheet 2 into this one. So now we have merged this sheet. Now we can go and go further into our process. So this is how you merge everything from in one sheet. Now we've got a second spreadsheet here that's got a column of information that we need to merge both spreadsheets together. All right, so this is the process to do that. All right, before you go any further, save the changes to this spreadsheet. This is important. All right, once you have saved the changes, now you're going to make a copy of this sheet. All right, we will change the name to our naming convention in our style guide. There we are. The date we change to what our current date is to keep this all straight in our heads. All right, then we do a save. All right, now we left the original sheet intact for reference for the future. This is a copy. We're going to now merge the second spreadsheet into this and then remove the tables that we no longer need out of this. All right, first part. Remove these unwanted tables. As we said, we have to do this bit as we go along to keep the size of the spreadsheet down. The smaller it is, the faster it is, the less Excel throws up on your shoes when you're doing something. So since we merged all of this data into this tab, we can remove all these other tabs, and that will free up a lot of space. Aside from freeing up space, it also makes things a hell of a lot less confusing as you go along. If you try and keep the tabs that are in the worksheet relevant to each step of the process, then you can focus on just the stuff you need to do and not the things that you've already done. And this is why keeping multiple revisions of the spreadsheet comes in handy. It's a way of tombstoning a step in the process and go, okay, that's just in case something goes wrong and I need to go all the way back several steps. I have not broken my trail of breadcrumbs, as it were. Okay, now that we've got the first sheet clean, we can go ahead and look at the second spreadsheet and figure out what to merge out of that. So this will load up. There's of course some pre-cleanup that you'll have to do on the second worksheet because it's not going to come out perfect either. In the case, we had the original tab that was messed up just like the first spreadsheet was, and then we modified it to clean it up so we could work for it. Because we know this data, we know that the only column of information that we didn't already have was the spec sheet. So this is what we want to merge between the two spreadsheets. There are a couple different ways of doing this. Normally I would copy all this data into one spreadsheet and operate from within it, but that's not necessarily the fastest way to do it. So I'm going to take this spreadsheet, I'm going to remember this tab mod 1, I'm going to select all of the records in spreadsheet 2. Then I'm going to go to my mod spreadsheet, which is going to be the destination of the missing column of information, and I'm going to select that. Then we're going to run our AbleBits data merge columns utility again. Notice it shows two spreadsheets open, so it wants to know you want to pull it from this other one. Now you see why it's so important not to have more than necessary tabs in a spreadsheet or having multiple spreadsheets, because this can get real confusing real fast as to where again am I trying to pull this data from. In this case we know it's S2 and it's mod 1. Alright. Once again, in this case, our name field is the key column that links the two together. We're not going to update any tables because the information given in the second spreadsheet is already contained in the first one. Now we select the one that we wanted to add. In this case, we know it is the spec sheet. Sometimes it comes in handy to write this stuff down before you start the process, or else you will get confused as to where again and what again am I trying to link into who. Next, in this case we're leaving all the options default, and we do a finish. And okay, and 3 didn't match up, but rest did. And the matching column should show up at the very end of the destination spreadsheet. Very good. Alright, so now we have merged that data in, and we probably would want to drag the column over here at some point to be next to instructions, install guide, and then we can call that done. Now we can close this second spreadsheet, and just like the first spreadsheet, it'll be left alone for archive purpose, reference purposes, and from this point onward we do the remaining steps off of the combined spreadsheet that has got the records and everything from both. So this is how you merge information from within multiple tabs in one worksheet and different tabs in different spreadsheets. Comes in very handy. And we will complete, this will be the end of this video on merging. Oh, and before I go, keep in mind, once again, naming conventions, dating conventions will come in handy. I guarantee before you're done with all this, there will probably be at least 7, 8 different revisions of this spreadsheet. So keep the dating and naming correct. Change the date to whatever your current date is when you're doing these revisions as well. All right, that completes this video. Thank you.